Well, we're coming to you from Mahikeng here in the northwest, where the police are still continuing with their inspections to ensure that the residents here in Mahikeng are adhering with the lockdown regulations. You would remember this morning we brought you an update there saying that the police have intensified their operations. It's not just the police that are here, it's law enforcement officials, including members of the South African National Defence Force and also traffic officials that are here. We also saw that today's operation started with the parade. There was also another parade around 11 this morning, just before phase 2 of the operations. Later on in the day, we also saw that the police officials went to different malls and shopping complexes to ensure that they also check the compliance that is being done at the shops. As you can see now, we're coming to you from this particular store behind me right here. But more details on these intensified operations. Let's get more information on this from the Deputy Provincial Commissioner of the Police here in the Northwest, Major General Patrick Asaneng. Major General, thank you very much for joining us. We saw this morning, like I did explain, that the operations today were quite intensified. Just tell us about that, please.
Yeah, ever since the start of the lockdown, we have observed with great concern that the residents of Mahikeng in particular, including business operators, have been continuing as if it's business as usual. And decision was taken that then, starting today, we should intensify our lockdown operations. That's why we started very early, because as you are aware, in terms of the regulations, only those people who are allowed to go and acquire essential goods are allowed to move. But we have observed people going about as if it's business as usual. Hence, a decision was taken that members of the security forces, police, traffic, defense force members should be here in Mahikeng. We are doing this. We will be going to other parts of the province to intensify and to make sure that people abide by the regulations and that they stay at home, and only those who are allowed to go out do so to acquire essential services. But we also want to warn those businesses that are allowed to operate to ensure that they do that within the confines of the law. Anyone who's found to be transgressing the regulations, either by selling or supplying non-essential goods, will be prosecuted. That's why you saw the members of the security forces out in big numbers today.
Okay, thank you, General. Also say there we saw that some arrests were also made, and then we want to hear also this intensified operation, is it going to continue on a normal daily basis from today, or will it be happening perhaps once a week? Just give us a clearer picture on that.
As I said, we have done our analysis. This is not only going to be happening in Mahikeng, but as I said, all the major towns in the province, your Rustenburg, your Klerksdorp, Potchefstroom, your Vryburg, we will be going out. Our members are out there. Now we just want to send out a very strong message. What you have seen here today is just the start of the intensification of this operation until the president has given a pronouncement. We cannot continue as if this call by the president is not heeded and there's nothing. So we are just sending out a strong message. You saw this morning as I was addressing the parade, impressing upon members of the security forces to do their work diligently and professionally. We expect the members of the general public to comply and to work hand in glove with us. We are still calling upon those who are in the outskirts they should feel free to report non-compliance by calling us or going to their nearest police stations.
Okay. And Major General, what we wanted to understand there was, we do understand that the officials would then, or rather the same operation will be taken to other parts of the province or other parts of the country. So what we wanted to understand was, we did see today the number of the officials on the ground was increased. So we wanted to understand, will some of them now be moved to other areas so where we will see a lesser number of officials? The other issue that I want us to talk about, some of the people today were saying that they had letters showing that they had doctor's appointments at hospitals, but the officials on the ground were not taking their stories. Nonetheless, they were returned home or sent back home.
What you have seen is not members of the security forces being brought into the town from elsewhere. They have always been here. What we are going to do, even in other parts of the provinces, the members that are already there, we are just going to use the very same members, but to adopt a different strategy in terms of enforcement, because we have realized that when we don't do this intensified operations, people just go about as if nothing is happening. Yes, it is true that we have stopped everybody, because during the lockdown we have also become aware that people are presenting fraudulent permits, others are in possession of permits issued by people who are not by law allowed to issue permits. We have come across people who were saying they were given permits by mayors, by ward councillors and whatever. There is no such a thing. Even police officers do not have the authority to give somebody a permit to move across provinces, across metropolitan areas or municipal boundaries. So that is why when we stop people, it's not because that we just want to ensure that people are complying and those who are supposed to be on the street are doing so within the confines of the law.
Okay, Major General, just for the purpose of, educating viewers out there, the frustration that we saw on the ground, a lot of people were saying that they required to have permits if they need to go and see a doctor or if they need to go and buy groceries. Just give clarity on this to the viewers, please.
No, it is not true, because how do you acquire or how do we demand a permit if you fell ill last night? Obviously, there will not be a permit. Even our members who are deployed, they are clearly briefed, because people who are going for medical care, they will be allowed to go through. Those that have prior appointments, they are expected to be in possession of doctor's appointments as well as consultation proof. There are people who are going for monthly either checkups and all those things. Those people are allowed, but those who fell ill during the course, they are still also allowed to go through.
Thank you very much. The Major General Patrick Saneng, he is the Deputy Provincial Commissioner of the Police here in the Northwest, just giving us a picture of how this intensified operation that we saw this morning and this afternoon, actually the whole day, rather, has been going, and that it will be taken to other parts of the province to ensure that people do adhere with the lockdown regulations. Studio, that's where we're going to leave it for now.